This is my chakra pendulum chart, and there will be a quick lesson on this. This is another spread. I call this the So Busy spread. So what I really did was just went through, I have a lot of original spreads that actually a lot of people don't see. They're just spreads that I love to do for myself. So, you know, a lot of those are in this playbook. And I just added some stickers to decorate that page. This is my stone medicine page. And this is a page that I think is a great reference tool. I didn't think about it as a reference page until after I made it. I made it because I could actually use this. Could use it for casting, but you can also use it for pendulum work. So it's moving towards the grouping of like clear crystals. So that means that somewhere in there, there's a crystal that I probably need. And then I can just hold the pendulum over each one, see how it moves, the intensity of the movement. It's moving over selenite to pick one. But I say it's a great reference page because if you have a collection of crystals, what I did was I just put them in different color groups, kind of like my favorite stones that I use a lot. And then I just attempted to draw them. I literally, you know, outlined the stone itself. And then I tried to use color and try to recreate the crystals. So it really is a great learning tool to try and do that. It really helps you to see your stone, to see all of the different, you know, is it blue or is it really blue? Like to connect the different types of colors. Is it green or is it, you know, is it green like this one or that one? So I think this is just a really great page to have if you study stones and crystals, just as a way to help you to see your stones in a different way. This is my scrying mirror, and we do have a lesson on the scrying mirror. This is I gotta turn some of these things over. This is my gratitude tree. We do have a lesson on the gratitude tree. I do keep all of my, my tree leaves, all of my gratitude things private. And then I just put these little stickers on the front, but we will have a lesson on the gratitude tree. I have to set it up to turn it a little bit better. Turn the page. This is something I'm going to be working on as a page extender. Right now I haven't finished it. This is one of my spinner pages, and this one is with geomancy. So when I talk about the magic spinner, I'll talk a little bit about this page, and I'll show you an actual page extender that I've already done, but I have a couple of things that I want to add as a page extender there at some point in the future. I have my spread, my Why Is This Card Stalking Me? So if you have cards that stalk you, this is the spread that I usually use for that. Of course, that had to be in here. We are going to cover this as a lesson, the sticker scrying board or page. We're also going to cover the Astro Tarot chart and how to create it. We'll also have a lesson on the vision board. And then this is another spread that I use pretty like every season. So this is a seasonal spread. I still have to write in some information. I think I'm going to put like a seasonal symbol in each of these little areas. I also made a project management spread. I really like to use my cards in very practical ways to help me understand projects. So for here, this would be like where you could put like a post-it note. If you have, even you could just put a little post-it note pad and just leave it there in your playbook. This is another one of my spreads that's based on a unique deck, and this is the Inner Queen Oracle by Leticia Cassano. So I really love working with that deck, so I created a spread that is specifically for that deck. And this is a page that I haven't finished. I really, once I started seeing that I was getting close to finishing up my pages in my playbook, I thought I definitely want just a kind of basic fortune telling spread. And this one is really from the Celtic cross spread. It's just the original cross. So it's just, you know, the past, present, future, you know, kind of reading. And this is my magic puzzle page. This is a lesson that we're going to go through. We're going to learn how to make the puzzle and put it into a little envelope here. This is a page that I made. It's actually from Colleen at Authentic Pathways. She was helping me beta test some of the lessons here and created this spread, and I really thought it was great, so I added it as a page in my playbook. And I'm hoping that you all as students will be submitting your own unique pages as well, so that we can be adding to our playbooks. This is my another map, another magical map. This one is tea stained, and we'll be covering this in a lesson. This is a really great spread that I came up with for doing spell work. I think I was trying to figure out how could you make a spell work or spell crafting interactive, and I thought of a way to do this with a spread. And I have a wonderful deck of cards called the Vintage Botanical Oracle. I think it's by Nicole Hanna. It is basically the images are free. You can get them made for yourself. And it's a great deck that works with this spread. Here is another map. It's just like my Land of Lenormand map, except this one's based on Kipper cards. This is something that I added. I haven't quite figured out how I want to use it. I saw it on Pinterest as a sigil making map, but I think it also could work in a way like as a spirit board. I also noticed different words that kind of just jump out at me, and I have also done this where just, you know, close my eyes and tap on something and close my eyes again, and I've actually gotten some really important messages like that. So at some point I'll finish that page. This was a page that you can see that there's 9 spaces, and if you look here in the corner, I've put a little pocket here in the corner. And this pocket design I got from a video by Jerry Bellini. It's actually an Origami Pocket, and I'll share that link with you so you guys can see that. And I love the idea of having pockets and things like that inside of the playbook. The reason why I did this one is because one time I had to go out of town suddenly for a funeral, and I had a reading through Instant Go, and I didn't have my playing cards or anything with me. I didn't have anything with me. I had to run out and get a deck of playing cards. Most of the readings that I get there are love readings, and I was trying to figure out, is there a way for me to do love readings, like on the spot if I have to, you know, through a page in my magical playbook. And as you can see, these are just the face cards in a deck. And so I've got to kind of come up with a system for reading just the face cards, but I think I can do it pretty easily. And basically use these different spaces to do a 3x3 reading that will give me all the information I need to do a love reading for someone. And again, it's all stored here in my playbook. This is another page that will, as you can see here, eventually become a extender page. So it's going to come out like this. I haven't glued or done anything with it yet, so it'll open up like this, and then this side will be something else. As you can see here, this one says, what would Jesus do? This one is a spinner. Let me take that out for a second. This is kind of a true bibliomancy spinner page. Oops. The spinner isn't working today. But these are 3 spinners. This one is for Proverbs, these 2, and then this one is different other quotes from Jesus in the Bible. And so bibliomancy is based on biblical, traditionally, although biblical quotes and phrases, although we tend to use the word bibliomancy for anything that's from a book. This one, I've got to kind of pull out a little bit to show you the whole page. So this is one of the extender pages that I've already done, but it's not finished because on here I'm going to do current moon phase. And so if you open this part, you get to see the current moon phase. So I got this idea from somebody on PPP, and I thought it would be good to have in there. It's not a true, it's not a spinner in a divination way, but I'm using it to just mark off when we're in, you know, like what moon phase we're in. And then I'm writing a little information about that phase. And so it would just stay on whatever moon phase we're actually in, just as a reminder for me. And then this side, this is the main page, and this is a spinner of existential questions. Yeah, that's how the spinner is supposed to work. So sometimes I don't feel like doing readings for myself. So this is another page spinner. And we're going to do some lessons on page spinners, so a lesson rather on page spinners, so you'll see that again. And then I have a couple of pages for reference, because when I thought about what reference pages do I actually need, it wasn't as many as I thought that I would need. I am still studying runes, and I took my actual runes and I used them to make this page, and I still have to write in. I'm just going to write right underneath of it some of the keywords for each one of these. So this is a good page for me to refer back to, so I don't have to go and search on the internet for information about runes. This is my I Ching hexagram page, and so again, this serves as another reference page. And I do my casting. I actually cast 2 dice for my hexagrams, and I just use this space to cast. And then I have a dice oracle. It's actually a free divination book that you all are welcome to, but I don't remember all of them. So this is my dice oracle message meanings, and I don't memorize all of this stuff. I just keep referring back to it. I typically have this like in my computer, but I thought I should just print it out here, and then everything is, you know, also at hand. It's actually easier to just open up to this page than go into my Adobe Acrobat and try to find it. So those really are my reference pages. And then I made a this is a Divinatory Index. So one of the things that you might want to think about, and I probably should have said this when we were at the beginning, after the welcome page, is you may want a table of contents page. Or if you want something at the back of the book, you could do an index. And sometimes you may just want just an orderly table of contents. This is what's on page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since my magical playbook is a playbook, and I really want all the pages to be play and interactive based, I really wanted this to be a Divinatory Index. So what I did was I waited till I finished everything. So if you want to have a table of contents up at the front, save a page until you finish everything. Because there were a couple pages that I took out, you know, I just didn't like them. So once I added everything through that last page, I found out I had 54 pages. And then what I did was I just, after numbering the pages, I just did a really random, you know, circles around the page, and then I numbered them. And this is probably as much as I'll do with this page. You can see that some of them aren't numbers. Some of them, like one says new page. That means to create a new page or an extender page. You can see some of them say your choice. So the way this would work is I can come to this page, close my eyes, pick something. I'm actually closest to page 8. And that would mean that I need to work on page 8, which is the word search. So in that way, I'm still working through my book in a divinatory way, and using my intuition instead of saying, hey, I want to work on this. This is just another way to choose pages to explore and to use for the day. So this might be something that, you know, you have an interest in doing. And again, you could do it at the back or at the front. Just remember to wait until you've finished everything before you start doing it. And there's lots of ways that you can do this. You could do this with stickers. You could, you know, make it really pretty and elaborate with some design around it, for example. The other thing that I used this page for, that I think I will use it for, because I've just set this up, is a numerology page. So I could just, like, let's say I have, you know, 8 and 7, I pick those two, that's 15. So that gives me the number 6 in numerology. I reduce down to the number 6. So that could mean that for the day that I pick that, the energy of the 6 is what I'll be vibrating, which means that I'll be a day of a lot of responsibilities, you know, towards people. I might be asking, you know, when am I going to get rewarded for all of my work and effort? So using this page as a numerology page, having it double, I really like to have pages have multiple ways to interact with them. And so this is my very last page in my playbook, but as you can see, there's still more on the back. And I'm going to be doing a lesson on this section, which is what I'm calling memory keepers. And I have, these are different envelope accordion books, essentially is what they are. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them yet, but I just thought it would be good to have a bunch of them here. I do have one that I have put something in. I'll show it to you because I'm going to try to do a quick lesson on it. This is my paper poppet. Okay, and so I made this just kind of like on a whim, and then I realized that, let me go back a couple of pages. You can use this little poppet. What's fun is just to kind of cast her and see what she's pointing at. Looks like she's pointing at the V, she's on the R and the G. And you can figure out, is there a word that is being made? I also like to kind of cast her on this kipper, and then I can see, it looks like she's pointing at sudden money. So, you know, you can use this, it's just fun to make, but I've been thinking about different ways to incorporate a little paper poppet in your playbook. And so far I've been really using her and having a lot of fun using her as kind of a casting tool. And like I said, I'm going to try to do at least a little lesson on this. You can see she points to different things, and she also reaches for different things as well. So let me put her back. And so each of these little memory keepers or envelopes, you could write something here and then keep things in the envelopes. Like I said, I'll do a quick lesson on how to make these, and you know, you can put them anywhere in your playbook that you might like to put them. So that is my magical playbook. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I hope you got a few ideas and start really thinking about how you want to organize your playbook and what you want to include in it. Remember that it should be a playbook of your own personal magical interests, not necessarily mine. So I'm just putting this back on, and again, this is this works really easily to take off and take on with a book ring. And when you're finished playing your magical playbook, you can just attach that back.